The ideas that gave birth to our nation are the ideas that our nation is resistant to right now, and we should talk about that all the time.
In a world where narratives are shaped by corporations and gatekeepers, independent voices matter more than ever. Badlands Media brings together citizen journalists, researchers, and independent thinkers.
The truth is triggering.
Question the narrative. Explore the facts.
Its authenticity, courage, resilience.
Search for the truth others won't.
It's not about being first or being right.
The information war is changing.
It's about being authentic.
Embrace the friction.
Embrace the friction.
Shut the f*** up.
Authentically antagonizing. Join the movement.
I'm going to say how I feel.
Follow Badlands Media.
This is about the future.
The Badlands. What are the Badlands? Explain those Badlands. That's a hell of a name.
Mr. Vice President, I'm going off script again, I know, but I just want to personally thank you. We've been through some stuff. We've gone through some of the most complex military operations this country's ever conducted, and your steady hand and your leadership during those was a great source of strength for me. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your character. Thank you for your selfless service. Thank you for commitment. Thank you for being a mentor to me, Mr. Vice President.
It's called the swamp. And you know what happened? And you know what I did? A big favor. I caught the swamp. I caught them all. Let's see what happens. Nobody else could have done that but me. I caught all of this corruption that was going on, and nobody else could have done it. Did I get that one right? Every 4 years, we gather on these steps to carry out the orderly and peaceful transfer of power. Today's ceremony, however, has very special meaning, because today we are not merely transferring power from one administration to another, but we are transferring power from Washington, D.C., and giving it back to you, the people. For too long, a small group in our nation's capital has reaped the rewards of government, while the people have borne the cost. Washington flourished, but the people did not share in its wealth. This American carnage stops right here and stops right now. The forgotten men and women of our country will be forgotten no longer. From this day forward, a new vision will govern our land. From this day forward, it's going to be only America first.
This is a president of the United States who is a danger to the Republic.
America first.
He knows he's an illegitimate president.
The oath of office I take today is an oath of allegiance to all Americans.
The great Trump recovery.
America will never be a socialist country. I will fight for you with every breath in my body.
Russia, Russian, pro-Russian, Russian, the Russians.
Russia.
And I will never, ever let you down.
A dangerous virus is spreading rapidly in China, and U.S. officials are very worried that it could come here.
This is really the worst attack we've ever had. This is worse than Pearl Harbor. This is worse than the World Trade Center. There's never been an attack like this. The time for empty talk is over. Now arrives the hour of action. What they're doing is using COVID to steal an election. Together, we will make America strong again. You know what it's about? Fraud, fake ballots. We will make America wealthy again.
They are trying to steal the election.
Now, under the leadership of President Trump, we are fully realizing President Kennedy's prescient view of special operations forces.
We will make America proud again.
And watch, please, those mail-in ballots.
We will make America safe again.
And in millions and millions of ballots, their vote is under what they thought they needed.
They're dumping more ballots in there, okay? And yes, together, we will make America great again. Thank you. God bless you.
If we are right about the fraud, Joe Biden can't be president.
Congress, the chair declares the joint session dissolved.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Saturday edition of the Devolution Power Hour. As always, I'm joined by Chris Paul. Chris, how's your Saturday going so far?
It's going great, John.
It's about to get better, probably.
How can it get any better?
Because you're going to be hanging out with me for the next hour and a half.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, we were already hanging out, so
that's true.
It's at peak betterness.
That is true. I will say we do have some things to talk about, but my Saturdays, especially with the kids, they got sports, and the Wild are on right now. Already super distracted. I feel like I'm losing my voice. Been yelling at the TV for the last hour and a half or so. We're asking you guys in the chat to help us out by sending in rants with things that you want us to talk about. We do have. Have you seen the alien disclosure stuff, man?
I mean, I saw when they posted it. I guess that was 2 days ago, or was it yesterday?
That was Friday. Yesterday, yeah. Yesterday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah, I looked at like 4 of the pictures and noticed the website a little bit and then shut it down immediately.
It's so funny how everybody was like, they're going to tell us aliens are here. They're going to tell us aliens are real. And then all the government's like, we don't really know what any of these images are. So you guys can decide for yourselves. Like, here we go. And it's like nothing.
I love the one that I shared in the chat yesterday. It has like a little oval in the sky and some sort of bright light coming out of it. And it says on the bottom that it's basically like a police sketch. They're like, this was, we designed this picture to correspond to what somebody described to us. So that's where we are.
Yeah, I said that was the anal probing.
Ah, yes.
That's what it looks like.
I mean, what are we supposed to do with that?
I don't know. I really don't know what we're supposed to do with these files. It's like, you know, it's awesome they're being transparent by giving us all this stuff, but they're not giving us anything. Mm-hmm. So can we really call it transparency? Just why were they keeping this stuff classified in the first place? Like, why was this classified?
That's the real question. I mean, it is transparency. There's just nothing that they were hiding. Or maybe there is. I mean, everybody else is like, how could you say that? They have the proof of aliens. I mean, we've talked about government files so many times.
Yeah.
Some of these claims are, and I think this is a great parallel, the Epstein files. Some of these are just claims that people call in and somebody somewhere writes them down and puts them in a file. And then all of a sudden they become government files. And if you delay the release of those government files and people want them and a lot of hype is built, then they finally release them and the file is nothing. Yeah. I don't care to see government papers that recorded people's like tip line calls on aliens.
Yeah, it just should all be public right away. I mean, the government shouldn't be able to classify information. You know,
I definitely agree with that.
Yeah. But yeah, this is a silly one for sure. And the funny thing about it too is, like, everybody right now, like if they would have done this maybe back in 2016, 2017, I feel like there would have been a lot more hype and excitement around it. Mm-hmm. But right now, everybody's just like, yeah, this is retarded. I haven't seen anybody taking the release super seriously yet, but also I haven't been like looking for it. So this is a great picture though.
What a perfect meme that is. And these alien files are just like the Epstein files. You know, I am not all that exposed to social media, so I might be overstating this, but it seems like one of the things that people are saying in response. I actually saw it on Truth Social of all places because they have this, like, I don't even know how to describe these people, but it seems like a bot or troll swarm who represent themselves as like super knowledgeable leftists who hate Trump. This is supposedly the distraction from the war and the Epstein files. The war was a distraction from the Epstein files. This is a distraction from the war. It's like those three issues are all zeros in my mind. So
yeah,
it's the people are obsessed with them, thinking that there's something else going on there. And when we get the releases, there's nothing there. And so then that there's a certain sort of person that just doubles down even harder and says they must be hiding something really, really important if they're giving us this to throw us off the trail of that other important stuff that they're not giving us.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the reaction to this particular psyop is pretty telling, because it seems like almost people are getting sick of, I don't know. I saw a comment in the chat that was kind of alluding to this too. So, sick of being rug pulled. I don't know if that's necessarily it, but kind of like people are just sick of the government bullshit, and it just seems like it's time and time again. And so maybe it's a good sign that people just don't really care anymore. But yeah, I saw that meme circulating too. DC Drano, such a douchebag. By the way, did you see Ashley St. Clair? She is like exposing all the tea about everybody on her Instagram now. And I saw a couple of videos, and she was going after Rogan, DC Drano, because she used to date him, and how he's like a creeper and all sorts of other, like Anna Polino Luna used to go and like stay over at his house, according to her.
What?
It's so stupid, but I love it. I love these people hating each other and all the drama between them.
It just makes it sound like another info op. People getting bored of this kind of stuff is actually really good, because you think about how much they are able to control people's thoughts and moods and behaviors with all of these stories over the years. It's good that like there's a release valve for that, because none of these things are, I mean, I don't want to say important, obviously, because if there's truth to them underlying all of this, then fine, they are important issues. The Epstein one in particular, the Iran war, is kind of a joke, and this stuff is nonsense. So there's, I would kind of rank them in that order. But the Epstein thing's an op too. I mean, who knows? Nobody knows the ultimate conclusion of that op. There's court filings that people take as fact. There's what is it? The conviction that people,
indictment.
Yeah.
Or what?
And then of course we had the suicide note this week. Did you guys talk about that?
We briefly mentioned it and read through it. It's all so stupid. Like, that's going to put the spin. Why did that not come out before? Why did we not know there was a suicide note before now?
Well, it's probably they just made it up last week.
Yeah, that's like the takeaway from it. And which suicide attempt was it from? I think they're saying it was from his first suicide attempt. But still, like, why would it not have come out before now? Especially with all the conspiracy theories. If you're like the most transparent government in history, and everybody is coming after you saying, hey guys, like, we think you guys killed Epstein. It became the most like memeable thing in forever. And they're just like, no, he didn't. It was probably suicide. We released a video of his outside his cell, but you wouldn't release the suicide note? Like, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, the suicide note itself too, it seemed like Trump wrote it, to be honest.
Yeah, I might have it here. Yeah, I do have judge releases.
Although if Trump wrote it, he would have signed it to look like women's pubic hair.
Yeah, you would have had the voluptuous curves in the margins.
Yeah.
Here's the note. They investigated me for a month, found nothing. It is a treat to be able to choose one's time to say goodbye. No fun, not worth it. I don't know what this other part says. So 10-year-old charges something. What is that word? But yeah, I didn't sign it. Didn't date it. We need
no
some
fun, not worth it. All in caps is time to say goodbye.
Yeah.
Oh God.
So silly. Maybe this is written with the auto pen.
I don't know if we're about to move on from the alien stuff and the rest of it, but
we don't have to. We could talk about that all night, Chris. I have so much material on that.
Do you?
No, no, I don't. No, I don't.
The whole thing at the beginning of the week, how there was like a secret government meeting where they called in all like the evangelical pastors to let them know that they need to prepare their congregations because they're going to hear about aliens, but it's really, as Tucker Carlson has been telling us for years, it's demons.
Yeah.
Or other biblical creatures. And hey, man, there's a lot of weird shit out in the world that I don't know about and don't pretend to know about. But what I do know is that the government calling a bunch of evangelical pastors, like the Judeo-Christian pastors of the country, like they've already got their flocks acting like sheep. These are the perfect people to disseminate a really, really retarded info op through. And that's no insult to Christians in general, nor to pastors in general. Just a particular, right. Just to a particular type of pastor at a particular type of quasi-Christian church.
Yeah. Do you think that actually happened? Like that they actually called in pastors to talk about this? Because there's nothing in these files that I would say is like, yeah, I'm going to start questioning my faith in God because of that composite sketch of the probing.
Well, if you think about, I mean, and I'm specifically talking about like mega church pastors who are clearly running a church business on behalf of the Zionist Project, which is the mainstream American church. There are 44 million Christian Zionists, or sorry, evangelicals who are by and large Christian Zionists in America. There's more Jewish Christians than there are Jews. So yeah, it is. And that's like a majority population. I mean, that is a massive, massive proportion of the American population. And so
it's enough to swing the midterms.
Yeah. Especially when they get the alien vote. Yeah. Gosh, man, I forgot what I was going to say about the pastors, but.
Well, I asked if you think that actually happened. And I think you were going to try to say like, they probably did meet with them.
Oh, this is what I was going to say. Well, I mean, I don't know if they did or didn't, but I can imagine that sort of thing happening. If you want to find people who are going to repeat the message because they want to seem like they are powerful and authoritative to their congregation, they chose a pretty good selection of people in order to do that. I mean, it's a secret meeting and they've been talking about it all week.
Yeah. I feel like it almost made it more comical because the people that were coming out talking about it, it wasn't really any of the, I mean, I don't know or follow, I guess, any pastors anyway, but I just saw a bunch of like YouTubers, alien YouTubers who are saying this stuff and spreading these rumors. So I don't know if any of it's true. It's just, it's all so stupid, man. It's all so stupid.
We're in a very, very weird phase right now, leading up to the big UFC fight at the White House. And
yeah, when is it? That's this summer.
Yeah, it's June 14th. So Flag Day and Trump's birthday. And then today is Victory Day in Russia. And I don't know if you saw, we don't have to belabor it or anything, but I don't know if you saw some of the headlines in the coverage today. Yes, the scaled down celebration. That's the headline that everyone ran, that it's scaled down. And by scaled down, the only difference was that they didn't have military hardware on parade. Because
like the tanks and stuff?
Parade, yeah, tanks and missiles and whatnot. But otherwise, the parade was enormous.
Yeah, I didn't actually watch any, but I did see that post from Trump where he's, let me see if I can find it, where he talked about, he took credit for like the ceasefire, and he's like, yeah, we negotiated a transfer of prisoners or whatever. Let me see. If I find it. He was on a tear today.
These pictures are unbelievable. Let's do that post and then we'll come back to this stuff because these are
ridiculous.
I mean, hilarious.
Let's see. Yeah, here we go. I'm pleased to announce that there will be a 3-day ceasefire, May 9th, May 10th, and 11th, in the war between Russia and Ukraine. The celebration in Russia is for Victory Day, but likewise in Ukraine, because they were also a big part and factor of World War II, because it was also Russia at the time, wasn't it? This ceasefire will include a suspension of all kinetic activity and also a prisoner swap of 1,000 prisoners from each country. This request is made directly by me and I very much appreciate its agreement by President Vladimir Putin and President Vladimir Zelensky. Hopefully it is the beginning of the end of a very long, deadly, and hard-fought war. Talks are continuing on ending this major conflict, the biggest since World War II, and we are getting closer and closer every day. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. Crazy. It's almost over, guys. But yeah, the coverage, you're right, was all, they pared back the parade.
And they're saying it was for security reasons because Vladimir Putin right now is apparently really worried about having a coup or being assassinated.
Who's running those stories? I haven't seen any of that, but that doesn't make sense.
I saw that on the CNN website yesterday or maybe today. Maybe it's even in the article that they still have up on the front page.
Yeah, that's stupid. Yeah,
but I remember the last time they did a coup against Vladimir Putin. We were told on a Saturday morning that Yevgeny Prigozhin was marching on Moscow with like 7,000 of his troops. And they were like 800 miles away. They had taken over Rostov-on-Don. And they just decided to stop there after Mario Knopfel hosted a Twitter space for 7 hours where they were all like so dramatically telling us what was going on over in Russia.
And then
still believe those guys when they release all these headlines. They still believe all the wars are real. They still believe the stories because the news keeps printing them. Oh, remember that coup that happened against Putin in 2023? And people are like, yeah, I remember that coup.
Well, didn't they like flank the position too, or whatever, of the very real war? Like they were on their way to Moscow,
yes,
and then they just ended up going to the other side.
Went back around. Yeah, they just took a detour around Ukraine instead of going straight through.
And then wasn't it? Man, I forgot about all this stuff. Didn't what's his name, Prigozhin or whatever?
Yeah,
he died in a grenade went off in the airplane, and
something like that. Yeah, yeah, that's what they said. And he had like posted a weird video about a few days before. I did an episode on this in like August of 2023 called "That Motherfucker Is Not Real," TMFINR, and it was all about this Prigozhin article in the Hollywood Reporter. Let me see if I can find this quick. I don't think we've talked about this in a while. I was blown away by this article right here.
Okay, hold on.
That motherfucker back there is not real.
That chick is amazing. That was one of the greatest. That was one of my favorite like moments of this whole.
Yeah, that was a solid couple of weeks of great memes that came out of that.
Yeah. This before he turned on Putin, Yevgeny Prigozhin made Hollywood-style propaganda films to sell his war. That being Putin's war. So this guy is. This is like the. I guess you could call him like the Eric Prince of Russia. And he used to be a chef. And apparently he's also a movie producer.
And then he went on from that to become a mercenary.
Yep.
Quite the career trajectory.
Since coming to power in Russia 2 decades
I'd love to see his LinkedIn page.
Yeah, right. Vladimir Putin has engineered a massive propagandistic operation that stretches across Russia's billion-dollar film and TV industry into a global network of state-run disinformation as journalism and onto the mysterious online world of right-wing mercenary worship known as the Wagnerverse. So,
Wagnerverse, just like Marvel Universe.
I mean, man, this is his movie, The Best in Hell, I guess. That episode was very funny, but it was also the approach was just extreme skepticism on what is going on here. Like I'm not entirely certain that this guy exists. And it also makes me think pretty often about how much of a military operation is only like Hollywood film production.
Yeah.
Just filming scenes and then showing them to the world. This is what we did. You know, and if you and I know that people hate this stuff, and that's fine. A lot of people don't hate this stuff because they're not retarded, but retarded people hate this stuff because it makes them so uncomfortable about the fact that they form their reality through the television and then believe that everything that they see on the screen is real. But if you wanted to, let's say you wanted to destroy some business. And there was a war going. Well, you could just blow that building up in any way that you wanted. And if you filmed the right sort of footage and released it the right way, you could convince people that anything happened to it.
Yeah.
And that happens a lot. And I don't know why we don't pay more attention to that stuff. This is the Hollywood Reporter. That is a Hollywood like industry outlet. It's basically like Variety and Hollywood Reporter, and then Deadline. Those are like the trades. And this is just about how he's a movie producer.
Yeah, you know, with AI coming out too, and we have these conversations all the time, but I don't think we recognize the power behind some of the stuff, like how much stuff we could fake. And we really should experiment with this. We keep talking about doing stuff with AI, Chris. We got to fucking do it one of these days. But we could come up with an entire, like, you know, global story, like some conflict somewhere. We could fake the whole thing entirely, put out AI videos. We could have Trump truth about it to end it, and then take credit for it. An entirely fabricated conflict that we made up from the beginning. We could do that whole thing.
Yeah.
People believe it.
Yeah. I mean, if we released it the right way and carefully, and the rest of it, I mean, that's basically what happened in the Venezuela thing. Look at the pictures just that day. Every bit of quote unquote evidence, everything that like hammers home the point about all of it being real is itself ridiculous. But we can't say that because the totality of all of it, there's so much of it that we assume it has to all be real. And then there's the narrative element that supports the reality of all the pictures and videos we see. But each thing viewed individually is preposterous.
Yeah, there's another story I was going to go into after this, and I don't have it up now, but I got distracted by a troll in the chat.
Oh yeah, chat trolls.
Fuck. God dang it. Did I accidentally exit out of it? No. Well, let's come back to it, because I do we could talk AI. We could talk AI and plane industry. I do want to have a conversation about data centers, because there's a story actually kind of local to me that's super interesting. I want to talk about that. I don't remember what I was going to go into afterwards, but how about this? Let's get a quick word from our soft disclosure for Mother's Day, since that is tomorrow, and then we can get into the next subject. Otherwise, we're 4-1 right now, man. Another period left. Intermission's almost over. Okay, soft disclosure, guys. Mother's Day.
Last winter, the world met Madame Margie, the moistureless. But while Badlandia banded together at Gart, she evolved. While deep in her layer, she uncovered 4 sacred instruments of hydration. The lip balm, the lotion, the tallow bar, and the new stainless steel gua sha. Together, they wage war. Flaking has fallen, roughness retreats, dryness trembles, and among the rebels, Mother's good boy. But elsewhere in Badlandia, rebellion grows, the beards remain.
Shave them all off.
Visit softdisclosure.com and use promo code Mama's Boy for 20% off your Mother's Day bundle. Can't choose the right sacred instruments for your mother? Offer them all with an e-gift card. For softness, for victory, for moms.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA.
I did say at the beginning that if you guys want to contribute to the show, since there's so much going on and I'm super distracted already, you guys can send in rants and we'll talk about things. And we did get one from DevHouse1 who says for $5, do you know anything about the dinar? That is a very loaded question. I've heard of the dinar. Isn't that some form of currency in a foreign country? That is about all I know about the dinar. And I don't know why I should be knowing more.
Yeah, I mean, is this a quiz? What would you like to talk about?
Yeah, what about the dinar? I know of dinner. I know of diners much more than I know about the dinar.
Well, maybe while we wait for the follow-up on the dinar, the Final Demand had one too.
Yeah, we have a couple of them here. CPG, is Trump just taking away all their narratives, declass all the bullshit over the years, and pretty soon you got nothing to talk about and people will pay attention to what's really going on?
That has been one of my big picture theories for a number of years now. So well observed, CPG. I would be 100% on board with that take.
So how would that work though? Like they just show everybody that there really isn't anything interesting behind all the doors, and then everybody just stops looking at all the doors and they just keep going down the hallway to what actually matters, or what?
Yeah, I mean, so much of what keeps some of these narratives alive is the mystery and mystique about them.
Yeah.
They get built up for so long, especially the stuff like the aliens, that like we dealt with that our entire lives. Oh, the government's holding back proof of life on other planets. If there's one thing the government doesn't have, it's proof of life on other planets.
Yeah.
Like we should stop being like, this is just retardation. To believe that that is a thing is ridiculous. And by the way, that is not to say that I'm ruling out the possibility. It is to say that is an absolutely extraordinary claim. And there is no evidence whatsoever for that claim. There's not even evidence for the possibility of that claim. There's not even evidence that the theory of that claim being possible.
Why would they make the claim in the first? Like, why would the government withhold that all these years anyway?
Well, I mean, it's
what's
one of
the
those
theory
things.
behind that?
I mean, there's the Bluebeam stuff, which I think is at least interesting and worth talking about. And big picture on some of this, and this maybe sounds crazy or whatever, but I think there's something to it. The Zionism thing and the project and whatever, and the potential for the red heifer to be slaughtered and all this, you know, the birthing of the quote unquote antichrist as though he's some like super villain that is going to come down to earth and then everything will be really bad or something.
Tucker Carlson said Trump was the antichrist.
Right. Yes, I know. And then he said to the New York Times lady that he never said that. So that's interesting.
Yeah, that's funny.
But you know what's strange about that is a couple of days before that, Trump had, and I couldn't find the post. I looked like for 30 seconds one day. I was just like, oh, I give up. Well, sometimes he posts like 50 boomer memes in a row. And it just like burns me out by the time I've scrolled down through 70 memes. And I can't find the one tiny post where he says that they made his mouth say something that he's never said. I don't know. The Antichrist thing, though, I can imagine them doing some enormous display and then using these same pastors to convince their congregations, which again is an enormous number of people, that Jesus Christ has returned. And here it is. And the alien crossover with an event like that and the way it's being handled right now with the pastors and some of the talk about the Zionist project and the rest of it, I could see that taking up a lot of space narratively. I think the ultimate goal is to get everybody back on the same page about anything. And we've seen a bunch of times where they've been able to sort of do that. COVID was a pretty good example. The Ukraine war was an example. The paragliding go-kart incident, the Charlie Kirk assassination. These are things that make a lot of people think the same things for an extended period of time and then divide into the two camps and fight. And that's the goal for all this stuff. So if you're able to kind of just overinflate the balloon and then let the air out very slowly, that seems to be what they're doing on a number of these narratives. And I think it would really work. People become less interested over time. In the Epstein files 15 months ago compared to right now, way bigger back then.
Oh, yeah. Except for like the few people who've made their identity the Epstein files. Outside of that, I hardly hear anything about it.
Well, right. And the thing that they use that for is a cudgel against Trump. They can say it all the time. Oh, Trump's a pedophile. That's why he's holding the Epstein files back.
So stupid.
That works in small corners of the internet, though.
Can we talk Project Bluebeam? Like, what about that do you think is so interesting? Because that's the one where they can project to everyone. Or what's the one where they can like make everybody hear the voices?
Oh, geez, I don't know.
Okay, well, what's Project Bluebeam then?
I think that's just where they make alien invasion appear in the sky. I think Burning Bright and I are going to do Independence Day for 4th of July. So I'll have to brush up on that stuff. But I mean, that's like Jordan's domain.
Yeah, well, I think right now after this UFO file release, I think it can be everybody's domain now.
Well, sure it can, but yeah, but I'm just talking about the investment in time to really know these things inside and out.
I know there's a technology though that we used to talk about. People might know it's not MK Ultra, but where they can it's like the voice to skull thing where everybody can hear. Voice to skull. There you go. Everybody can hear a message that they can make everybody think they're hearing God or something. I think that if that technology is possible, is much more interesting. But then is it just one loudspeaker, or how do they project it into everybody's mind? I don't know. But the alien invasion thing, do you really think people would buy that? Because I don't think they would.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't know how good the technology for projecting things into the sky might be.
Yeah,
man, everything's so weird. Like, to say that something's not going to happen at this point, I don't know.
Yeah, I suppose.
Do you remember that Elon clip when he did the interview with Tucker Carlson describing how the timeline was going to work?
And no, but I could probably find it.
Hold on a second. Let me see. Gosh, what was he? He said the most entertaining option, right?
Most entertaining outcome is the...
Yeah. I know that I have this video somewhere on my hard drive. Here it is. Hold on a second. How do I make this? I don't know where it is. I only know that I've found it. People are going to say that doesn't make sense, but it does.
You found it, but you can't get it on the screen.
Well, yeah, I just don't know what folder it's in. It came up on search, so I could totally open it immediately, but I have to actually... Oh, okay. Now I know where it is. I have to be able to find it.
Take your time.
Yeah, I mean, we're just killing
the
time.
Period started. So.
You can watch hockey, yeah.
Old School 69, while you're looking that up, said, if burnout is real and it seems it's affecting most people, it does not make sense Trump would allow the fake midterm rug pull to happen and make things even worse. Hope they get canceled, Chris.
Wait, what midterm rug pull? I guess it depends on what the rug pull is. I think I know what you're saying, and that you're saying you don't think he would allow everybody to be put back on the same page that way.
He wouldn't let us get the hose again, I feel like.
I was just about to say, this is the definition of getting the hose again. And we're going to keep getting the hose again until we actually choose not to.
God, Tarasenko had a breakaway and he couldn't put it in.
I'll just do this.
Most ironic outcome is the most likely, it seems.
I'm stealing that. That's good.
That's actually a friend of mine, Jonah, came up with that one. I actually have a slight variant on that, which is the most entertaining outcome is the most likely. But that's entertaining as viewed from a third-party viewer. Right. Like, so if we're like an alien TV show.
High, yes.
Yeah. Like, you could go see a movie about World War I, and they're being blown to bits and gassed and everything in the trenches, and it's like you're eating popcorn and having a soda, you know, it's fine. Not so great for the people in the movie.
True.
But that's my variant on this sort of Occam's razor. The simplest explanation is most likely. Jonah's variant, which is irony, and then my variant, which is the most entertaining as seen by a third-party audience, which seems to be mostly true.
Is that a simulation theory, Nod, you think?
It could be. It certainly could be. It's definitely at least the idea that a lot of what we're seeing is scripted.
Yeah, I do think people are getting a little more on board with the scripted thing. The JP Sears video, I sent that in our private chat today. He talks about that. I was like, this kind of comes out of nowhere. Like, who's writing for you, JP Sears? Because you definitely don't think those things, but now all of a sudden you're acting like you do.
Well, maybe, I mean, listen, maybe he is, that guy at least seems authentic and sincere, which doesn't mean I agree with everything he says, but it seems like he's doing his own work, which I like.
Yeah, he's funny.
Wait, damn it. I was going to say
simulation theory
right before that. Yeah. Raw Shark gave us some Bluebeam updates in there.
Oh, we got more.
And then his wasn't in Iran. I just found the comments. He said Bluebeam is a very large and complicated operation over many years to delegitimize religion and trick the public into a one world religion, government, economy, ///. Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. It's way bigger than just alien holograms, although the alien holograms would probably trick the shit out of people.
But then, so can we already be experiencing the Project Bluebeam with like all the conflicts and stuff going on?
I mean, the early stages, I guess that would be a Rorschach question.
I guess I don't get it. Anyway, Snowcat Operator gifted 1 subscription. Then the final demand. This guy claims he was at the meeting of pastors. Go to the 5:30 for a minute. Totally not fake and gay. And I feel like that was probably sarcastic. But let's do it. Thank you, Final Demand, by the way.
The issues in that same narrative.
In terms of these creatures, did they indicate whether or not those creatures, any of them, are in captivity? And how are they getting this information about what the narrative these things would share with me? Have they
Okay, I feel like I want to listen to more of this before we... Like, was this guy in the meeting?
There's so much information here. And again, it sounds like to me, a lot of these pastors who were brought into this call or this meeting, it wasn't done in an official government capacity. It's people who are within the government who are also believers themselves who said, we need to get the word out in advance of this so that pastors can be ready. Am I reading that wrong, or is that how you're reading it as well?
I think it was a unified effort, but the people that came to meet with us were more former military operatives, people that have done research, and they've done a lot of activity in some of the UFO disclosure community up into the highest echelons of it, and they came with proof to show us that they were part of that. Some of the things that they really showed us, Ben, were shocking, things that I didn't know how to wrap my head around. They had images of entities and things like this. They actually did show it to us on their devices. We were not allowed to have our devices function in these meetings. It was actually a rather lengthy meeting in Tennessee, and I was there with
motherfucker back there is not real.
A little bit ago, Bishop Dio, and we were in that meeting together. And I'll tell you, they did go into a lot of material. But here's the big thing: the big takeaway is what they were concerned about was the coming deception with it. And why do I say deception? The deception is that they want to supplant or replace our image of God with a form of enlightenment. This is where the narrative is trying to go. So there's going to be a lot of things that begin to show up. This is what they told us. I even asked them about the lizard people. I said, "Is this really true, lizard people?" And they looked at me and said, "Our reports tell us yes." Now, I don't know what to do with that, but I was in this meeting and they said a lot of things that were...
What UFO files did they get that we didn't get? This is bullshit. Okay, now I was skipping back forward to what Final Demand said too.
Activity, and how are they getting this information about what the narrative these things would share with me? Have they communicated with them?
Well, they have not. One person did communicate with something, and he really asked that we not tell who he was or what had happened, but he had a direct communication of one of these things where it jumped on him physically. He was in somebody's home. It appeared like a light being came down and all this. Of course, this is his account of it. Sure. And he just began to tell us. And of course, we're staring at this going, okay, like, how do you process that? So I said, I just want to quote my friend L.A. Marzulli, let's rebuke first and ask questions later in the name of Jesus. But they began to say these things are being summoned on one level by people that believe they are higher intelligences, light beings, that they're calling down out of the cosmos or out of the other dimensions. Other people believe that they're just purely demonic, which I do believe these are demonic things that we're facing. But what they also said that was staggering, and I thought this was interesting, this will help the audience. They said 90% of what we're seeing in the skies right now is high-level technology. We're seeing high-level government technology. And they began to say, we've researched it, we have data on this, and they began to break it down for us. High-level government technology.
That didn't help me at all. You said that about the audience. I don't feel helped in the slightest.
Yeah, I mean, I guess at least we know what the substance of the meeting was. The alien holograms they were shown a lot of dumb shit.
I don't know, it almost, well, if the meetings were real, because I feel like he didn't even say necessarily that it was actual people connect with the government. He said high-level people, former military that were, big in the UFO disclosure thing. It's almost like they got together because they're like, yeah, guys, our jig is up. They're finally going to release shit, and everybody's going to know that, there's nothing there. There's no there. What do we do with this? How do we respond to this? That's my takeaway after watching this retard.
Raw Shark updated and said the alien holograms were the grand finale, and yes, they are still pushing the Bluebeam plan. And yeah, I mean, I could see that.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I feel like
we're gonna get them all. I mean, I guess we're going to go through the whole book at this point, right?
Maybe. Adam Chester, my nuts, asked if we could explain the petrodinar.
Yeah. I guess oil will now be traded in Iraq's currency.
That's like a $50 rant, man, for $5. That was beautiful. That's like probably the exchange value between $1 and a dinar. Old School 69. I think many would fall for fake Bluebeam Jesus at first because most churches don't teach that true Christians are raptured before the Antichrist is revealed. Most churches are just as corrupt as government.
Well, I mean, the Antichrist being revealed again, the whole supervillain idea, I don't think makes any sense at all. And I don't know why people believe that. I mean, it's
where did
either
that come from?
Everything is just Christ or Antichrist. That's it.
Yeah. Where did the idea of an Antichrist come from, though?
I don't know if it originates with the Scofield Bible. I can imagine people believing that it is some kind of supervillain after reading Revelation. I don't know.
Probably. Interesting. Well, we'll keep taking rants and your topics as long as you guys keep sending them in. Otherwise, I thought this was interesting today.
By the way, it's worth noting that Peter Thiel last year was, or I think it was last year, doing a lecture series about the Antichrist. And Peter Thiel, if he is some kind of Christian, I don't know what kind he is.
Do you have any videos of that? I don't think I saw any of that.
Oh, man. Do you remember when he did the interview with Ross Douthat from the New York Times?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't watched the actual lecture series, but he definitely talked about some of that stuff with Ross Douthat.
How do you spell his Douthat's last name?
D-O-U that.
Because there was a great meme that came out of that. Remember the guy was like pretending to be his producer. He's like, hey, don't say that. How are you going to recover from that? I'm never going to be able to find this. I'm pretty sure we covered it on the show, though. Twitter's search, by the way, has turned to garbage. Really? Yeah, I've not. The last like 2 days, I don't know if they updated something, but anytime I'm trying to find something that used to be my go-to, it has not been working for me.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
I'm not even finding that interview on here. Anyway, we can come back to that if you guys in the audience bring it up. I want to talk about this a little bit, though, because I thought this was interesting today. They brought up the PEDs again.
Yes.
Ex-Trump official, and it's come from Miles Taylor, sounds alarm on Doomsday plan White House can exploit. They've been doing this. It's almost annually. They keep bringing the PEDs up and Trump's extraordinary powers that he has. I don't remember them ever bringing it up under Biden. But every time Trump's been in office, like they keep talking about the things Trump could be doing. They did in 2018, 2019, 2020. And now they did it again here in 26. They probably did it last year too. I guess I don't remember. But a former official from Donald Trump's first term is sounding the alarm about a so-called Doomsday book that could deliver the president unprecedented power if he acts upon it. Miles Taylor, who resigned as Homeland Security's chief of staff in 2019, writes that the White House has a secret catalog of pre-drafted executive orders that, if enacted, would allow Trump to do extraordinary things like effectively invoking martial law. The book dates back to Dwight Eisenhower's administration, which developed so-called PEDs, Presidential Emergency Action Documents, and gathered them into a single instructional book only to be opened in an extreme scenario. The manual was written amid the Cold War. Let me skip down a little bit. Taylor said that Trump did not fully understand the powers he possessed in his first term, referring to the secret book. He added that some of those who did understand were terrified he might use those authorities. Wasn't there a clip during COVID where somebody was asking him questions about this, and he basically said, like, I can do whatever I want. I have all the authority, or something along those lines. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do remember that for sure.
Let's see if I can find that clip. I just think it's funny. Miles Taylor said that Trump extraordinary powers. I'm pretty sure that's the word he used too. That he has I'm never gonna be able to find this. Oh, well, never mind. I'll come back to the article.
It's so interesting that we have this presidential power of like turning in a few papers and all of a sudden the Constitution is just like null and void.
Well, it's supposed to be only in response to
Yeah.
emergency situations. I do
And
love
by
the
the way,
piece, though.
that's no comment on Trump. Everybody who's going to be like, how could you say that Trump would do the wrong thing in that situation?
Well, there's something with the PEDs. Like there really is. I don't think we know what it is. We don't know for sure if it's been used. It probably has been during the Devo term. Like I got to imagine that's how they implemented it. But there's a there. The Democrats have been freaking out trying to get into those PEDs forever. Like ever since 2020, especially. I think I have the timeline here. Yeah, this is from my part 25. In April, they tried to Gerald Nadler and the subcommittee on the Constitution and Civil Rights sent a letter to Barr asking about the PEDs. Senator Ed Markey introduced the Restraint of Executive and Governing Nation Act of 2020, requiring the presidents to disclose the PEDs. In May 2020, a bipartisan group of senators sent a letter to DNI Richard Grinnell asking to be briefed on the PEDs. September, House Democrats introduced as part of the Protecting Our Democracy Act, that was Adam Schiff's bill, a requirement that the president disclose the PEDs. And then again, May 17th, 2022, the House Judiciary Subcommittee on the Constitution held a hearing on reforming emergency powers, including the PEDs. They never got into them. And I'm still convinced Trump did something with them. And we don't know what he is. We haven't had an OLC review since 2017, like 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
There hasn't been a budget request for the PEDs or anything. Interesting shit, man. Weird to bring it up again, though.
Did you pull that clip from MSNBC when Miles Taylor was, I think it was MSNBC, might have been CNN, when Miles Taylor was on talking about the red binder a couple of years ago?
No, I didn't.
It's interesting how they keep bringing this freak out back up over and over again. And they are, relating it to elections. Part of that article talked about surrounding polling places with military, whether it's National Guard or whoever, in order to intimidate voters. And all of it is always filtered through the election lens as though those are real. It's always very strange that that's what they're using to scare people with. Like he's gonna take your elections. And the redistricting thing, they are really pressing that as Trump stealing the midterms. Gavin Newsom's out there blasting that.
Yeah, that's an interesting little psyop that's going on right now because it kind of came out of nowhere. Like why haven't we been, if we could just redistrict the blue out of every state, why haven't we been doing that forever? And why all of a sudden now it's like, okay, we're gonna make this huge push and it's gonna become this big public thing where we're all fighting about the redistricting.
Well, I mean, part of it is the racial element and the Voting Rights Act and what the court precedent has been vis-a-vis the 14th Amendment. But I think that some of that's kind of changing. And the timing, Brian and I have talked about this a couple of times on Daily. Trump in 2019, I think, put out that memo directing the Census Bureau to separate the illegal aliens from the final count because, and maybe a lot of people don't know this, I don't know. The census includes all the illegal aliens. It's just like, give us the raw number of people in the country. And so that number goes for apportionment. It goes for, and the congressional districts, how much of the Congress is going to be in California as opposed to New York or Virginia or Nebraska or whatever, based on the proportion of the population. It also goes for government funding. And then of course it goes for electoral college votes. And so he's like, well, California shouldn't have this huge advantage just because they have 10 million or 15 million illegal aliens or, children of illegal aliens or whatever it is, in the country. And so he wanted them to separate that. And then they delayed through that transition period. And then of course, Biden comes in and immediately he shuts that whole thing down. We get through the Biden term and then Trump reinstitutes it. It's like it never changed. It just wasn't released. And so now we have this weird redistricting cycle in the middle of the census period because it's every 10 years and that's when they do the redistricting. So there would be redistricting and reapportionment done from that census change, which we have to expect is coming down the pipe at some point. And so we have this redistricting now almost to head that off or something. Just it's really strange.
But they should still do it after the census, right?
What do you mean?
Like, won't they redistrict and everything after the census comes through? Because the census, we don't have those numbers yet, right?
We don't have those numbers that Trump had ordered during at the end of the first term.
Yeah.
We do have like the census data from 2020, although I believe that was really delayed for a while too. Just the fact that that story is playing out and then this thing starts up at the same time to somehow like officialize it. Oh yeah, it's the Supreme Court and it's the state legislatures who made all these changes.
Yeah, the where it's going now, what I'm seeing online anyways, it seems like we should have so many more seats now with the redistricting that the midterms will be a shoe-in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So imagine if we don't get the red wave, even with the redistricting. What would that mean?
Well, in that Daily Beast article too, they said that it's expected to be like a blowout for the Democrats. That's what they're pushing, that this is just like a done deal. They're going to have a big blue wave.
They said that in this same article?
Yeah. I don't remember the exact phrase they used, but I'm pretty sure it was that article. It might have been one of the other one. It might have been the other one, the other link regarding the PEDs or something I looked at, but I'm pretty sure it's that Daily Beast article.
Let me see if I can find it. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, the way that the mainstream media is portraying Trump's, everybody hates him, his polling is super low or whatever. There's a lot of conning influencers who are kind of pushing that with all the excuses of why we're going to lose the midterms. It's interesting how those two things go hand in hand. But then at the same time, they're pushing the redistricting is so awesome and it's going to save us the midterms. Ooh, here we got thank you, Counterinsurgent, for $10 and the Peter Thiel interview link.
Oh, man. Thanks, Counterinsurgent. But yeah, I had that link all queued up for you. This is the part of the Daily Beast article, by the way.
Oh, so you got that. I'm just all over the place.
Sorry.
Okay, so what are you? Okay, yeah. GOP bloodbath. I thought we're not allowed to use the word bloodbath anymore.
The Daily Beast is instigating violence. It's also instigating violence with its name. The Daily Beast. I wonder if they're referring to the Antichrist.
Well, that's true. Who Tucker Carlson? I'm going to keep saying that Tucker Carlson called Trump the Antichrist.
It's weird that they've made it a supervillain too, because the OGs at being Antichrist are the people who developed an entire belief system about denying Christ. I'll just put that forward.
So this is the part you're talking about?
This is my very specific question for you, right? Is that you're an investor in AI. You're deeply invested in Palantir, in military technology, in technologies of surveillance, in technologies of warfare, and so on, right? And it just seems to me that when you tell me a story about the Antichrist coming to power and using the fear of technological change to sort of impose order on the world, I feel like that Antichrist would maybe be using the tools that you were building, right? Like, wouldn't the Antichrist be like, great, we're not going to have any more technological progress, but I really like what Palantir has done so far, right?
Yeah,
isn't that a concern? Wouldn't that be the irony of history would be that the man publicly worrying about the Antichrist accidentally hastens his or her arrival?
There are all these different scenarios. I obviously don't think that that's what I'm doing.
I mean, to be clear, I don't think that's what you're doing either. I'm just interested in how you get to a world willing to submit to permanent authoritarian rule.
Well, but again, there are these different gradations of this we can describe. But is this so preposterous, what I've just told you, as a broad account of the stagnation that the entire world has submitted for 50 years to peace and safetyism. This is 1 Thessalonians 5:3. The slogan of the Antichrist is peace and safety, because, and we've submitted.
I don't know, man. I don't like that guy.
No.
I don't get it. Peace and safety, isn't that the goal?
Well, I mean, he's talking about it's going to arrive under the guise of peace and safety.
Yeah. And I would say we haven't really had that. I mean, it depends how you look at it. Not everywhere anyway. Kyle, guys on the spectrum, you need to give them a chance to answer. Some guys on the spectrum, if you give them a chance to answer, they don't shut up. Kind of like Bernie Bright. But that was me.
Man,
he may not be on the spectrum.
That Peter Thiel interview was so weird. Total transhumanist. That part of it's very strange as well.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. I really want to find that meme of him.
Thiel meme?
And I'm like stuck on it, and I can't stop looking for it, and I can't find it. It's gonna drive me fucking insane. No,
oh, wait a second. What was the date of that interview? 10 months ago. So that's going to be late June last year. So if you did your Twitter search again using like June 15th to July 15th of last year, I bet that might narrow it down.
Okay, let me try that. Advanced search, Peter Thiel. What was the date again?
June. Like June 15th to July 15th. That video was on the 27th
of 20.
20, yeah.
Okay, let's see what happens. Just bear with me while I do this, everybody.
Frederick Leathers in the chat said, if I were a premillennial dispensationalist, which is the foundation of Christian Zionism, Trump would scare me and maybe agree with Tucker. Yeah, that seems like what they are going for. And that is a big captive audience that they are trying to move from Trump to this thing.
I'm not finding.
And Lonesome Fugitive mentioned Thiel's father, Klaus, who was born in Germany in 1938. He says this confirms that Peter Thiel's paternal grandparents were adults living in Germany during World War II. And that's interesting because Klaus then moved to an African country. And I don't think it's Uganda. I can't remember. I think it's Zambia. And essentially lived in a German expat community that was very Nazi friendly. And I'm not saying that Peter Thiel is a Nazi, but I'm also not saying he's not a Nazi, because he basically is like, we know how to do everything, and we are going to make the trains run on time through technology, and we are going to watch everything you say and do forever and analyze it with our false god of the material domain known as artificial intelligence.
Yeah, well, this could lead us into the data center discussion. I want to talk about that, but we do have a rant for $50 from Novna. Says, thanks, John and Chris, for everything. Chris, thanks for mentioning the BS reporting about the Victory Day parade. Putin honored his people. It has never been about hardware for Putin. And then I don't know what that is.
She left some really interesting comments in my Substack chat, or maybe just sent them to me directly. But she always kind of keeps me apprised on the way some of these situations are being presented to the Russians versus the way they're being presented to Americans. And I always think that that is an interesting difference.
That says Happy Victory Day, by the way.
Wow.
In Russian. If Google translates right. She's obviously from Russia.
I don't want to speak for her, but it seems like she's either from there or has spent significant time there and speaks the language. Yeah, pays attention to all that.
Yeah. So data center stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple. There's one already in North Dakota. I think it's like on the east side of the state, and there's a company trying to put one in the west side of the state. And it was this whole big thing earlier. it was either earlier this year or the end of last year. I don't remember when, but the story came out like earlier this year. They were getting a lot of pushback from the community about building this huge data center there. And the county, they had this county commissioner meeting and they put a moratorium on the building of it. Like they had this one meeting, a whole bunch of people showed up, like hundreds of people, and they voted against letting it go forward. So moratorium on it. And then they said, we're going to hold another meeting moving forward. And they held it in a different building. And the fire code of the building only allowed for like 20 people to be in there. So the board held a meeting with just the representatives from the company, and they ended the moratorium. And now the thing's going through, and people are fucking livid because they basically like bought off the board there. And this data center is now under construction. And it was just the most sneaky bullshit they could have, like the worst way they could have done it. And it's like, you know, maybe there's a lot of fear mongering going on about the data center stuff. Maybe not. I don't know. But either way, their PR people suck, because you don't do shit like that if you're trying to like do good things. Like that's so shady, but it's real. It's a real story.
Yeah.
Nuts.
I mean, they're pushing things forward according to their agenda, no matter what the people say. And again, if you think that you're going to be able to vote your way out of these things, it ain't gonna happen. And the people who are representatives in that community, I don't know where you're talking about. Maybe you said it and I missed it.
I think it's Oliver County in North Dakota.
Okay.
You're not familiar?
Are those representatives elected in real elections, or is it like absolutely everywhere else?
I guess I'm not even sure. I think might be a Facebook story. Yeah, here we go. Facebook. I don't have Facebook, so it won't let me. A moratorium on data centers in Oliver County was removed during a special meeting with no discussion and no real opportunity for public input. Happened right at the start of the meeting and was over in about a minute. No ordinance in place, no clear framework, just gone. Regardless of where you land on data centers, decisions like this should not happen without people knowing what's coming and having a chance to be part of it. That's just basic. And yeah, this was the meeting. And again, they did it outside of an auditorium where they held it before. And they used the fire code excuse to keep it. Like there were like 80 people outside, according to one of my neighbor. Actually, he works for he works for an engineering firm, and they do consulting. And their firm was like consulting on this and was basically like, you probably don't want to do it this way. But anyway, we've been hearing from folks across the state who are trying to understand what these projects mean for their community. Situations like this are exactly why people are asking more questions and paying closer attention. If you live in an area where this is being discussed, now is the time to stay engaged. These decisions move fast, and once they're made, they're hard to walk back.
Yeah.
A lot of money with these data centers, though. So
a lot of money. It could be a bubble. We talked about that. I don't know. A couple months ago, there was that article in the Financial Times where they were talking about whether or not all this speculation was going to be for nothing. Some of the decentralized data storage stuff that General Quast talks about might obviate these things. Someone in the chat said they should just call them surveillance centers, maybe, but they also might be Bitcoin mining facilities for all we know in the future, because the setups are rather, very similar, and they're always attached to a power plant, which I think is a really interesting arrangement, particularly because that power plant ends up, it's like the closed system, and then the additional electricity that's generated gets pushed out onto the grid, which theoretically at least brings people's energy prices down. I wonder if some of this stuff gets pushed through because there is kind of a military aspect to some of this stuff. And, I know that this is kind of out there and people be like, oh, you can't prove that. And fine, you're right that I can't. But I think it's important to speculate about some of this stuff because that's what allows you to see around the bend. If you have like another framing that you can check these stories as they emerge against to see if it's, oh, actually, maybe it's that rather than this, the terrible dystopian view. And, people are going to come down on either side of that as well. But if it is something that's more military related and they're like, yes, it's got to be here because this is going to protect the energy grid, be a cyber warfare defense mechanism, a drone warfare defense mechanism. Maybe these things are needed as military installations around the country. And if that's the case, are you okay with it in that scenario? And I'm not advocating for any position here. at all. But it's a conversation that maybe we should have.
Yeah, but the thing about it is, if that's the real reason, why aren't they selling it as that? Because they're not.
Maybe this is what gets people to push back against some of the artificial intelligence, some of the people running it. I don't know.
Yeah, there's this story that
Elon's talked about data centers in space, which suggests data transmission on a level that we're probably not dealing with or not understanding properly now. And so that's one of the things. The other good thing about data centers in space is they don't even have to exist. It could be something entirely different, and they could just tell us, the data centers are in space. I'll be like, oh yeah, of course they are.
Maybe this is what gets people to like want more data centers in space, is because they're pissing everybody else off on land.
Well, that's
like, let's go build them on the moon.
Exactly. And if we have all of this functionality that we're told needs data centers, and they don't want to tell us how they're actually doing it, telling us that they put them in space is a pretty good fail safe on no one ever finding out.
Wild just scored an empty netter, 5-1, 3 seconds left in the game.
Oh, I thought you meant with my space comments.
What?
That was the empty netter. I just scored an empty netter.
Oh, that was too. That was a good comment. This story just came out like today, I think, too. A data center drained 30 million gallons of water unnoticed until residents complained about low water pressure. And it turned out like they had like 2 untapped or unaccounted for like connections to their data center, or just like stealing water. Like I'm assuming people hopefully went to prison. I mean, I say that facetiously because they didn't, but they should. Because if I did that, if I stole water from the city, I'd go to prison. But yeah, it seems like people are just getting pissed off kind of all over the place about data centers.
Yeah. And I wonder how much of that is, I'm again, not advocating for data centers, but there's clearly a widespread anti-data center public relations campaign too.
Yeah.
And there's always going to be an anti for everything. There's a pro. That's how they kind of do these things. The same person, I think it's the CISA person, said, oh man, there was another comment. I might've lost it. Oh, the noise from these AI centers is insane. And that's one of those things that's been in the PR campaigns about them. I don't know if you've ever driven by one of these things. I have, and actually a Bitcoin mining facility. And there are national stories about that one. And the sound is like almost non-existent. You can be outside of it and hear crickets chirping over the sound of the data center. And so I don't know what to make of that exactly, but
yeah, this is supposedly the data center outside of Abilene, Texas. That is, I guess, super bright at night. And I mean, I don't see an issue unless you're like living in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. I mean,
anyway,
but that could be what it is. If you like to look up and see the starry sky and instead you see just light emitting as though you're like next to a metropolitan area.
Sure. Yeah. I guess I'd probably be pissed about that too, but
man, I grew up in the country, like in the middle of nowhere, and I go back now, and in the surrounding areas, not like where I grew up, but within 15 miles, 20 miles, 30 miles, there are these fields of solar panels.
Oh, no.
And over all like the country terrain, the farmland and the rest of it. And it really is just awful. I saw them. Yeah. Oh, it's terrible. And it's, the environment stuff, the solar panels are supposed to be the greatest thing for the environment. Turns out they're not actually great for the environment wherever they are, and disposing of them is like impossible. Same thing with the windmill blades. So, but yeah, they're awful looking. And I saw them for many years. If you drive from Los Angeles to Las Vegas, or even fly from LA to Vegas, you can see some of these solar fields that just go on forever. And, in the desert, I guess it's maybe more palatable, but in the middle of the country and like rolling hills and fields, and you just see data centers for as far as the eye can see.
Data centers or solar panels?
Solar panels. Yes.
Well, that's coming. Data centers. We'll see those as far as the eye can see soon too. Yeah, I agree with you totally. Didn't Trump just recently take down a whole bunch of wind farms? I think I saw that story.
Yeah, Burning Bright, I think, was on that.
He's got a weird thing for
it was offshore stuff. Oh, well, yeah, but I think that's kind of like because of where he lives.
Yeah. Yeah, that is interesting. We had Monty710 left a $10 rant, says, I was trying to leave you a boost, but I don't see it, so I'm not sure it worked. I went over and looked and I didn't see it either, but it says I might have tried again. I'm mad about Utah's data center too. Yeah, you don't find many people other than the owners of the data centers who are like super excited about the data centers, but they're going up anyway. And we do have this over on badlandsmedia.tv/boost, an interesting $10 boost they left us. It says it makes no sense for Trump to be against the system. It would have made sense for them to steal the election in 2016 and label him crazy. It's like he was put in there to stop a revolution, hasn't fixed anything here at home, while we think maybe soon.
So the idea being that they could have stolen the election in 2016. Elections are fake.
Yeah.
Elections are fake.
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting thought then. How did Trump get in there?
I would suggest that he was placed in there just like Biden was placed in there, and Trump didn't have any reason to leave after the first term. So
yeah,
I don't think the 2024 election was real. People are like, oh, it was too big to rig. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you on 2024, 2020, obviously. 2016, I've always said, like, yes, elections have always had rigged, they're not going to like actually let us choose who's in control or whatever. But in terms of the election fraud infrastructure as we know it, the story that we're told about it with the mail-in ballots and all the machines and all that stuff, it wasn't as built out as it certainly was in 2018, 2020. Potentially, yeah. But what he's saying here in this comment is, then does that mean he's here to placate us? Which I don't think so, obviously.
Well, I don't think so, but it could be that. And I think that it's worth keeping that in the back of people's minds. And I've talked about this for years. There's like a bad path that we could go down. But the point is that, like, we're not supposed to center our lives around who the American president is and what the government is allowed to command us to do. The government's not allowed to command us to do anything. So, we have to first adjust our relationship with the government. We should be doing the right things in our lives, no matter who the president is and no matter what the government tells us to do. And when you approach things from that standpoint, then the televised political soap opera means a whole lot less. Now, I'm not saying that Donald Trump doesn't have significant power in the country. He clearly does, even if that power is only to change people's minds. But if he's running a psyop on all of us and we are centered with our faith and centered with our discernment, then the psyop he's running ultimately doesn't matter. It's going to play itself out. People are going to get hoodwinked by it. And it's possible that we've all been hoodwinked for a very long time throughout this entire period. But the way to not get hoodwinked is to withhold our belief about all of it and then allow these things to emerge. Bernie Bright and I were talking about The Matrix Reloaded the other night. Yeah. And that it's literally the second Matrix movie, but it also kind of talks about the idea of a second Matrix. You get out of the first one, it turns out you're still in a Matrix. And they've played both sides of this thing. They created the Matrix and they also created Zion for the people who are dissenters and non-believers of the Matrix. They have this other thing that they can put all their energy into. And then at the end of walking the path of the one, you get down to this decision point, and all the people who had walked the path of the one prior to Neo had made the same decision. So they walked the path of the one, but they weren't actually the one because they didn't go the other way. And there is a way out of it, and this would be the kind of Trump Neo parallel here.
Yeah.
It's possible that he walked that same path and that he's making the decision that all the people before him have made, but it's also possible he's not that, and that he's actually hoodwinking all the people in power on the adversarial side that we all want to see get destroyed. Well, you can't just destroy them in one fell swoop. That would never work. And so you have to play them out to the end and destroy them bit by bit. He's destroyed the Democrat Party. He's exposed at least all the neocons, if they're not destroyed yet. The tech oligarchs are still out there. The global Zionist project is still out there. And, the Zionism thing, part of that is just like a plausible religious and spiritual cover for the rest of the globalist agenda, which then makes everybody blame the Jews at the end, which of course gets them to recycle the matrix and start it over, which is what they do every 80 years. And they did it 80 years ago, and it worked out perfectly for them. And they're trying, we've talked about this a million times, trying to make Trump, Hitler, and MAGA Nazis, and going all in on that is what allows them to tell that story and then reset the system.
Yeah. It's hard for me to think that Trump isn't, what a lot of people in this community think he is, but there's like a noted push right now, and it's been growing. It's been there the entire time Trump's been around, but it's definitely growing where a lot of people have turned off of Trump now and are calling him that. Like basically he was a snake. He isn't who he thought he was. He's sold out to all these people. And I can't get there. I can understand why people are saying those things, but I feel like they're missing the devolution lens that we view things through, and we can't force that on people. Milo Aaron on YouTube says there are only two options. He's either playing them or he's playing us.
Yeah.
Essentially. Yeah.
That's totally fair. And again, I'd say that everybody in Badlands, and 98% of our audience are on the he's playing them side of it. And hopefully that's the case.
Yeah. Jimmy Graves.
But if it's not the case, we still have to push forward and do the right things.
100%. Maybe we can get some blue hair whales to beach themselves next to data centers. Well, that was funny. I don't know why. Lucy the dog says, why can't they put data centers in the ground? Would it not use less water? I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea, but I don't know that I want them in the groundwater.
I don't think in the groundwater, just in the ground.
Well, wouldn't that be how they're? Oh, because it's cooler down there or something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, we can station them in dumbs.
There is a type of air conditioning where it's like under the ground or whatever. I don't know what it's called. I'm sure somebody in the chat will know, but it like uses cooling from underground, and I don't know. Maybe that would work. There's two things I learned tonight that I don't have a lot of knowledge on, and one of them is dinars, and the other thing is data centers. So keep them coming. I'm learning a lot about myself. Very revealing episode. Real quick, we should get a quick ad read in from our good friends over at Rumble Wallet, one of the sponsors of tonight's show. Quick question for you guys. How much control do you actually have over your money right now? Technology has changed everything, and now it's changing how money works. Crypto started as a niche, but now it's going mainstream. Faster payments, more control, fewer middlemen. And this isn't hype. It's just where things are going. And getting started today is easier than you think. That's where Rumble Wallet comes in. With Rumble Wallet, you can buy Bitcoin, hold dollar-backed stable coins, even own digital gold backed by real gold, all in one place. Setup is super simple. It connects with MoonPay, so you can use your debit card, credit card, or bank account and be up and running in minutes. It's not about the amount. It's about getting in early and understanding what's coming next. And once you're set up, you can even tip your favorite creators, like us here at Badlands, directly. So do this now. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description and download Rumble Wallet. From there, you can set up your wallet, tap buy, and you're in the game. Take control of your money. Get started with Rumble Wallet today. I do recommend it, guys. We've been talking about getting into crypto or whatever and supporting Rumble, and what we're doing here, Rumble Wallet's an easy way to do all those things. Those data centers aren't going up for no reason. It's probably, maybe it's all a Bitcoin push. We don't know.
Yeah.
Get yourself some Bitcoin. This is Kathy LaBelle. They just don't get Trump or how he works. And see, I go back and forth on that because a lot of these people that have been around for a while, I mean, we could just write them off as retarded, and it's possible. But some of these people, I think they know they choose to misrepresent him because maybe they're forced to. Who knows?
Well, there's still a lot of social incentive in being anti-Trump. It allows you to connect with more people in the mainstream and more people kind of in the, I don't know, the more high society part or, aspirational part of the mainstream who are very, very like all consumed with their reputation and their kind of image and brand generation.
Yeah, that's this graphic.
Yes.
All the social incentives are on the polar like the polar opposites of this spectrum here. It's the middle that you don't get those incentives for some weird reason. 1027JS left us a boost, said, thanks guys for $20. That was awfully nice of her. Thank you, Joe, fellow North Dakotan. But guys, I don't know if I have anything else that I really like needed to talk about. Oh, we do have this, the pullout game. You want to talk about this for a little bit?
Yeah, the pullout method.
Yeah, Trump says he might move U.S. troops to Poland from Germany. And you've been talking about this for a little while. See,
well, just since the beginning of the Iran thing, when I saw that they were like sending weaponry from South Korea, and I just think that the Korea situation is so interesting. South Korea is a U.S. military occupation that has run for 80 years. It's not a real country. It's just the southern half of Korea as taken over by the global regime and held by the U.S. military. So the idea that they're pulling all sorts of weapons out of Korea for the very real Iran war suggests that they are pulling out the same way that they would have from Afghanistan or a number of other places. And Germany now is added to that list. And I think he mentioned Spain a week or so ago. And so I think that we'll probably see more and more of this. And this is a coordinated effort. You can believe all these stories as though this is the reason, but the reason is because we're not being the United States military is not going to any longer be the global police force for the one world regime.
Yeah, I think he also said Italy too.
Italy
and Spain. Yeah. No, I think that's an interesting take. We also forgot to go through Trump's truth posts today. Yes. These are so good. First of all, this story he reposted, this was from January. So just out of the blue, May 9th, he decides to repost a January story about the search in Fulton County. Maybe it's because the Fulton County is trying to get the ballots and everything back, the 60 boxes. A judge this week denied them that request. So that's kind of interesting. Drones dropping like butterflies. I wonder if he makes these memes himself.
That would be really funny if he was just sitting around typing prompts into
ChatGPT. Bye drones. That's a good one. Lasers.
Yeah.
Was it early this week too? He posted the Bing Bing.
Yeah, that was yesterday.
That was one of my favorite videos.
You have that on the soundboard or no?
Yeah, I do, and I posted it too on True Social Media. We got this.
Ding 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 ding, boom, boom.
That's the best one. Team Bomb in the chat said each of the 4 data centers I've been to are located below the ground level. Most use an elevator as a man trap to keep people from accessing the internals. My main DC was 12 square blocks underground. Damn.
That's crazy. Also, I have another meme based off of that meme that I did.
Ding 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 ding. Boom.
That's an old one.
Nice.
Man, it was like 2 years ago. Iranian ships. You got this. Ooh, look at that. Look at all those ships underwater. That's crazy. You can almost see the Titan submergible over there in the background. This is weird. Like all these Trump golf course photos. You can almost see a background image here. I was trying to see where he was. Because he's clearly like just taking a picture of a TV. It's like, what's in the background? It's hard to tell. But does that. And then the actual pictures.
Yeah, it really is just so strange that he posted that over and over.
Yeah. He's just very excited about his golf course. I'd golf there if I could get on. They spelled Virginia right. That's nice. Do you see the the lawsuit that the Democrats filed with the Virginia Supreme Court? Or they filed it to the Supreme Court. They spelled Virginia wrong.
Jeez.
Did you see? You didn't see that?
I did not see that.
That was pretty funny. We got to get you into golf, Chris.
I would love to be good at golf.
just have to be into it. You can come with us when we go.
Yeah.
You can at least putt for us. It's great.
I played a little bit when I was like in my early 20s. Never got good or anything, but it's fun. I can understand why people are obsessed with it because it's so hard. And when you do something good, you're like, oh yeah, I got this.
Yeah. You usually get one of those around, and that's what keeps you coming back.
Yeah.
Well, that one good shot, man. If I could just do that every time.
Yep.
I'd be playing next to Tiger on the PGA Tour. Actually, he's not playing anymore. I wonder if he'll be allowed to compete at is it the Open because of his DUI or whatever? JB is too busy to keep Chicago safe.
I think I might have a video of myself playing golf in like 2017 or something.
Dude, play it. You got to come with us. When we go golfing at Deadwood, you should come.
Oh, dude, I have it. Hold on a second.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
I have to hold on. I have to preview this for myself to make sure that there's nothing. Oh, it's just slow-mo.
Let's see it. My son's been getting into golf, which is awesome. And he's into freaking every sport. He's like constant. He was outside for like 12 hours today, just fucking around, playing with his buddies. But golf, especially, I love because it gives me an excuse to go with them. So I've already gone more this year probably than I did all of last year.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Man, I have so many movie clips in my memes folder for a future soundboard. There you go. Everyone can analyze my swing. I'm not sure it's a very good one, but that one seemed okay.
That's a pretty good one.
There you go, kid.
Holy shit. Holy shit. That wasn't bad at all.
Yeah, no, that one took off. But the rest of the day I had like a blister on my hand, like after 3 holes.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good setup, good swing. Probably use a little more like push off on the contact, but that's all. Where's this golf course?
Holy shit. What's that?
Where's this golf course at?
In some country club in Los Angeles.
I have a great video of CanCon from when we were golfing. I'm just gonna find some of my videos somewhere. This might take a minute. When was it we went golfing? When was the Plymouth Gart? That would have been, oh, I think I have it right here. Oh, this is it. That was way too easy to find. April of 2025. Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna send this to myself in Telegram, and then I'll pull it up on here. This is worth it, guys. So just hold for processing. He's gonna be so mad.
I love how I'm getting my swing broken down in the chat right now. Yeah. Guys, I suck at golf, so you can say bad things about my swing.
I'll play a video of my swing so you guys can analyze mine too. If this ever loads, okay. Okay, here we go.
No, why are you hooking? Why are you hooking?
Hooking is bad.
Oh, my bad. How do you fucking hook a goddamn... Hey, fuck.
I love golfing with him so much.
Yeah. I just love how enraged CanCon is. How quickly he becomes enraged. Not like really enraged, but
that's the thing. Like he's
just the volatility. It's very real. It's very Italian.
He's a pretty good golfer though. So like when you golf well and then you end up not golfing well, it it can be upsetting. Here, I'll save. Let me put this in the. You guys can analyze my swing next. This is the content you came here for during the power hour.
Our audio only audience later on is just hating this.
Well, they're probably gonna want to come watch our golf swings. This is the same. This I kicked Cancon's ass this round. I think we posted a lot of these videos in the Telegram chat for the GART.
Oh, a little thin. That's it.
I did blade a little bit.
It's great.
There you
Wait,
go.
which is that in Deadwood?
No, that was in Plymouth.
Hmm.
But yeah, the Deadwood one, I did not play well that round. But we're going again this time. I think Cancon wants to do like a tournament or something. So once everybody gets their tickets and we get a little closer, we're gonna organize something. So it'll be a good time. They have some nice golf courses up there in the hills. But anyway, let me see if we got any more rants that came through. Otherwise, do you have an outro video?
Maybe we should do the JP Sears video.
We can do that. Final Demand left another $5. Says Trump, Cash, Pete, Tulsi aren't the ones going through millions of UFO files to decide what to declass. It's the deep state bureaucrats, the commies in the basement choosing what's declassed. It's all bullshit. It could also be, that is one explanation, but it could also be that there just is no there. Just like the Epstein files. Keith Higgins, what does the national debt and Cancon's golf game have in common? Nobody cares. Touche. But you're here and you left us $2 to make that comment. So you kind of care. Anyway, Chris, I do apologize that I wasn't, there kind of just wasn't that much to talk about, but I take full responsibility for the lack of that this episode.
I don't think you have to because, I pay very little attention to news at the beginning of the week and then kind of catch up on all of it toward the end of the week when I do Badlands shows. And the last couple of days, I've just been looking at headlines and there's like nothing.
Yeah. You get some of those weeks. This was a bad week for that. We did get the national counterterrorism strategy.
Yeah.
Whatever. That was nice this week. But other than that, it was a slow week. A lot of reruns. A lot of nothing burgers.
Got a little, would Burning Bright call it the shark fin with the PEDs?
Yeah. A little bit of a shark fin. But that wasn't a Trump, push. That was a mainstream media push, if you can call the Daily Beast mainstream media. So sure. I don't know. What are they fear-mongering over with that? It's always interesting to me. What's in there? And are we going to get like some sort of story that actually involves something from the PEDs other than a discussion about the PEDs, We'll never know. But yeah, thanks everybody. Hit the thumbs up. There might be bad gaming tomorrow. I don't know. I think the kids are going to their mothers at like 2. We'll see. I'll probably maybe go
Mother's Day to all the moms out there.
Yeah. Do your mom a favor and hit thumbs up on this show on all the platforms. And we'll close out with some JP Sears. Catch you later, everybody.
Here's what I've got for tomorrow's episode of Political Theater. Ceasefire talks begin. Again, Israel screws it up. We didn't know that was going to happen. Ceasefire talks end. Declare victory. War continues. Then we go and start pushing the hantavirus. Tweet Thomas Massey is a traitor. And then we tease the alien invasion angle. I think that's pretty good for one day. I'm the head writer for Political Theater here in America. No, I think we need to keep going hard on the theme of all we want is peace, and that's why we need this war. No, you got to understand the viewers will feel more involved if they know they're paying taxes to pedophiles. Yeah. So where should we take it from here then? Before I got the job writing for Political Theater, I was the lead writer for the WWE. And that was great experience for what I do here. Similar audiences, they both tune in to watch scripted fighting. Right. Trump calls them low IQ and praises Lindsey Graham. Yeah, I know they'll hate him for it. That's what we're doing. We're turning him heel. That's what we're doing here. We're still going with he's straight. The main difference when I was writing for the WWE, their audience knew that what they were watching was fake. What do you mean you don't understand the alien angle? We're doing COVID just with the aliens this time. So full steam ahead on that. Have you seen House of Cards? It was a pretty good show. So what we produce is like that, except a lot less realistic and a lot more believable. Okay, so we've got these guys killing kids and doing genocide, but we need to give them a reason to be doing that. They're doing it because the Bible tells them to? Yeah, I'll write that in. Honestly, I don't know where we're going to take our whole Charlie Kirk assassination storyline. I mean, we could have a lone gunman kill the lone gunman like with JFK, but I don't know. Or we could do something like the lone gunman has a trans boyfriend and the head of the FBI shuts down the investigation into foreign involvement and is an alcoholic. Would leave people on a cliffhanger wondering, is he an alcoholic? Traditional dramatic storytelling has redemption as the payoff for the viewer. With political theater storytelling, the payoff for the viewer is punishment. This grieving widow thing is just poorly written. Who's been writing this? Gil? Gil, what the f*** is this? Well, you don't have her grieving at all. You just gave her a shit ton of fireworks. I know, but you're revealing that too soon. We want people to feel surprised when they find that out. Yeah, right. All right, you can do better. When we start a new storyline, we usually don't know where we're going with it. We just make it up as we go. Would it play if we nominate the Secretary of War for the Nobel Peace Prize? We have to write hours of content each day. And with that kind of workload, you just don't have time to think very far ahead. Okay, so listen to this. It's a rough idea, but I'm trying to weave it all together. The hantavirus is coming, so we need a new ballroom. Because Thomas Massie has nukes, which means we can't release the Epstein files. So we need to blow Iran back to the Stone Age and collect all your privacy data because Israel is our greatest ally. What do you think? As a writer, the goal is to get the viewer to say to themselves, I think that what's going on in this storyline might actually kill me and my family. Then we'll keep watching. I like it. The government's advising hundreds of pastors about aliens in a secret meeting that everybody knows about. It's just the only thing I don't get. Why are we having pastors be the front lines with aliens capable of interdimensional travel? Like, why not like scientists and physicists? Oh, we did kill them all off. Yeah, no, so this is good. Hey there, my friend. Let me ask you this question.